Breaking news! The Baltimore Ravens are about to experience something we haven't seen in years, and nobody is prepared for what might happen. There's a detail that went unnoticed in the AFC North standings that's about to turn the division upside down. And here's the crucial point. Most fans haven't noticed it yet. But when they do, everything will make sense, and the importance of the game, it's greater than ever. But before we get into the details, don't forget to like this post if you're a true Ravens fan. It's always amazing to see fans of all ages supporting this team. And if you want, comment "Go Ravens" below to show everyone you're rooting for them. The Ravens' 2025 season has been one of the strangest in recent memory. This team started 1-5. That kind of beginning usually means your season's done before Halloween. Yet somehow, here we are, heading into Week 12, and Baltimore is not only still in the playoff hunt, they control their own destiny. That's right. Despite that dismal start, the Ravens are firmly in the conversation, sitting at 5-5 with a golden opportunity to shake up the AFC North. But there's a problem. Actually, several of them. Let's start with the playoff picture. Right now, per ESPN, the Ravens have just a 63.1% chance to make the playoffs. That's sixth best in the AFC, behind teams like the Broncos, a whopping 97.2%, Patriots, Colts, Bills, and Jaguars. The wild card race is packed. And the problem for Baltimore? Two teams ahead of them in the hunt category, the Chiefs and Texans, have beaten them head-to-head. That's a brutal tiebreaker to lose when every win matters. Sure, the Ravens own a tiebreaker over Miami, but when you're stacked up in the middle of the AFC like this, every detail counts. So what does that mean for Baltimore's path forward? In simple terms, win the division. That's the cleanest, most guaranteed way to punch a postseason ticket. Relying on a wild card spot is far too risky with how tight this conference race is shaping up. And when you look at the AFC North, things get very interesting. As of now, the Steelers lead the division at 6-4. The Ravens are just one game behind at 5-5. Cincinnati sits at 3-7, and the Browns have fallen off a cliff at 2-8. They're essentially done. But don't let the current standings fool you. Baltimore has something the Steelers don't: control. The two teams haven't played each other yet. That changes on December 7th and again on January 4th to close out the regular season. Those two matchups will likely decide the AFC North. Right now, the Ravens are 2-0 in division games, both wins over Cleveland, while the Steelers are 2-1, having dropped a game to the Browns. In terms of tiebreakers, Baltimore holds the edge so far. Let's also talk odds. According to FanDuel, Baltimore is the betting favorite to win the AFC North at -270. Pittsburgh follows at +240. Cincinnati sits way back at +3,300. And Cleveland? If you've got $400 and a dream, you could throw it on the Browns at +30,000 and pray for a miracle. But realistically, this is a two-team race now, Ravens and Steelers. Here's where it gets even better for Baltimore fans. Despite the rocky start, the Ravens are in a fantastic spot with their remaining schedule. Their strength of schedule ranks dead middle in the NFL, literally the 16th toughest out of 32 teams. Meanwhile, Pittsburgh's schedule is tougher, coming in at 13th. Every small advantage counts, and this one is big. And look at who Baltimore still has to face. They've got 2 games against Pittsburgh and 2 more against Cincinnati. That means they hold the cards, win those games, and they essentially shut the door on their division rivals and claim the crown. You don't get many second chances in the NFL, but the Ravens have one, and they better take it. This weekend, the Ravens take on the New York Jets while other AFC contenders square off in matchups with major playoff implications. The Bills face the Texans, 2 teams ahead of Baltimore. If the Bills win, that's huge. The Colts face the Chiefs. Root for Indy. The Patriots face the Bengals. Go Patriots. And the Bears play the Steelers in Chicago. Yes, Ravens fans are now temporarily Bears fans too. Let's not sugarcoat it. Everything is riding on those 2 matchups against the Pittsburgh Steelers. December 7th and January 4th are already circled on every Ravens fan's calendar, and for good reason. Those aren't just games, they're potential season deciders, legacy games, rivalry battles with division control and playoff survival at stake. And the best part? Baltimore doesn't need help from anyone else if they take care of business in those 2 showdowns. Now, that doesn't mean the road ahead is easy. While the Ravens technically have a middle-of-the-pack schedule, that doesn't account for the pressure, the health of the roster, or the desperation of opponents who are also clawing to stay alive. The Jets might look like a beatable opponent on paper, but in a season like this, nothing is guaranteed. Baltimore must come out sharp, focused, and ready to dominate, because one slip-up could undo everything they've fought back from. And then there's the mental side of things. How does a team that started 1-5 even stay in the fight this long? That kind of turnaround speaks to leadership in the locker room, coaching resilience, and a team that refuses to quit. But let's be clear, the margin for error is still razor thin. The Ravens can't afford a single misstep, especially with those head-to-head losses to Kansas City and Houston hanging over them like a cloud. If you're wondering just how rare this kind of comeback is, consider this. Teams that start 1-5 have historically had less than a 5% chance of making the playoffs. The Ravens are defying odds every single week. The playoff prediction model from The Athletic and New York Times has Baltimore at an 81% chance to win the division right now. That's not a typo, asterisk 81% star. For a team that looked dead in the water just a few weeks ago, that's nearly unprecedented. And that 81% is not just about math. It reflects how much Baltimore has done right since that awful start. They've tightened up defensively, cleaned up mistakes in key moments, and have managed to beat divisional opponents when it counted most. Yes, there are still concerns, consistency, offensive rhythm, and finishing strong, but no team is perfect, and the Ravens have something far more valuable, momentum. If the Ravens beat Pittsburgh twice, they'll likely not only win the division but also secure a home playoff game. That's a game changer. Baltimore's home crowd is electric, and hosting at M&T Bank Stadium gives this team a real shot at winning in January. And let's not forget, this team hasn't won a playoff game in a while. The hunger is real, the urgency is building, and the path is right in front of them. So the question becomes, will they take it? We'll find out over these next 7 weeks. Each game will build on the last, and the stakes will keep rising. But as it stands right now, Ravens fans have a reason to believe. Not just hope, but believe. This team isn't limping into the final stretch. They're surging with purpose. And here's the bottom line. This season, more than any other in recent memory, is proving what kind of team the Baltimore Ravens really are. They're no strangers to adversity, but this year they've had to earn every inch. From a brutal 1-5 start that would have buried most teams, to clawing their way into division contention with a real shot at the postseason, this squad has done the improbable. The pieces are in place. 2 massive games against Pittsburgh still on the schedule, favorable tiebreaker positioning, a manageable strength of schedule, and momentum that very few teams can match right now. The Ravens are standing at the edge of a breakthrough, with everything to gain and everything to lose. And as the rest of the AFC scrambles for wild card scraps, Baltimore has a clearer path than most. Win the AFC North, secure that home playoff game, and finally rewrite the story of a team that's been knocking at the door for too long. But it won't come easy. Every week from here on out is a playoff game. Every snap, every decision, every mistake or moment of brilliance could decide the outcome of not just a season, but an era. And with a fan base as passionate and loyal as this one, the Ravens know they carry more than just a record. They carry expectations, pride, and the hope of a city that lives and breathes football. So now we turn to you. What do you think? Can the Ravens finish this comeback and take the division? Is this finally the year they break through and win that crucial playoff game? Drop your thoughts in the comments. We want to hear from every corner of Ravens flock. And if you haven't already, be sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel so you never miss an update. Another video is already on screen with more Ravens insights. Click that now and keep the momentum going. Go Ravens!